And finally, we're back at Bison Overland Campers to give you an update on my flatbed Jeep Gladiator camper that I'll be living full-time out of by end of the year. In this video, we'll dive into the aluminum frame, how we're making modifications to it and the camper, and we'll show you how much lower my deck ended up than a standard aluminum flatbed. But first, we got to make some coffee in this fancy coffee machine, so let's see if we can do it.
Okay, I think I figured this thing out. So we can, I guess I'll start boiling water. I actually don't know how to work a Keurig oven a little bit. Oh, it does need the water tank full. Look at all these blue lights. I found this switch in the back, it turns it on. So just press brew. Just press brew. I got it to work, I just had to click that button a few times. Whoa, I don't know what's going on in that machine. That's, you done? Thank you. Come on, good girl, let's go. You need to go run around, don't you? Coda knows where to go. This big old shopperoo. To show you guys, I've got the Gladiator parked next to Drew's Tacoma, which has the Summit Expeditions flatbed, an awesome flatbed, a lot like most of the flatbeds on the market, well, like all of them, just the flat deck going over the wheel wells. So I wanted to show you how mine is even lower, even though my truck has probably the same lift, but 40-inch tires versus 33s, and my deck is still lower. So that's why we went through all this work. Again, the flat deck on most Gladiators is going to fit right about here above the fender. Mine's about 8 to 10 inches lower. So that's going to get the floor lower. That's going to mean the roof of the camper is going to be lower. Everything's just going to work better. We can sit inside the camper with the top down versus not having that option because there's just less space when it's compressed. Yeah, this is awesome. So stoked about this. So let's give you some angles here so you can kind of see. It's not much lower, but again, I'm on 40s and first 33s, so pretty stoked it's lower with way bigger tires. And then also my rear suspension stink bugged and sticking a little bit higher, so that's gonna sag down a little bit when I get the camper. And from what it looks like compared to Drew's truck, it'll be about 3 or 4 inches lower still. And again, 40s versus 33s. So I'm just so stoked with the custom bed. We're talking now about just kind of building the camper off the bed. There's a lot of complications that come with bolting the aluminum frame on and bolting the camper to that. One being, if we do that, we're gonna be covering up these front mounting bolts. If these bolts get loose, the only way to tighten them is to remove the entire camper. That seems silly, doesn't it? So that, coupled with weight, strength, and space inside, all those things will be increased if we just build the camper frame. We just build the camper onto this frame. This project has just gone further and further and further. And when we first started, Drew and these guys really didn't know that this is what the camper was going to be. So they've adapted a ton, and I just thank you guys for seeing my vision. And this has just been a crazy experience, but super fun. And it just seems to keep getting better. And hopefully that'll happen for the next few months and it'll be done. Because if it keeps getting better for years and years, that's not worth it. I want to go travel, you know? So yeah, we'll get her done. Where's Coda girl? Coda. Come on, Bubba's. Let's get out of there. She's been in there for like a half an hour hanging out.
let's go take a break.
Zamp Solar Obsidian panels shipped here. Super stoked. These things are, I think, like 30% lighter, more efficient, and just a really nice looking monocrystalline solar panel. So we've got those and the Zamp MPPT solar charge controller. Gonna be running about probably 4 of them on the roof for 360 watts total. They're 90 watts and they're slim and long and slender. Kind of a different shape, but they'll fit the roof of the camper really well.
Backing her on into the shop here, and we'll remove this aluminum frame. And all right, so I just pulled this. I just got the cotter pin off, and that released the spare from underneath here. So now we just need to pop the snap rings and get these little rollers out so we can run the cable out and disconnect the winch, because the winch is mounted to the steel frame and the aluminum frame staying here. So many little things that we had to think all this through in Arizona before I got here. So I kind of know what I need to do right now, which is great. We've got the main camper bolts out, the winch line and the spares all disconnected. We've got to disconnect the rear backup camera, the fuel fill, and then one other thing in the front, and it'll come right off. Drew's just welding up a camper. No big deal. This is the rubber horse mat. It's like stuck on there because it's just been sandwiched on. So yeah, this stuff just gives us a little bit of a barrier between the frame. We don't really even need it. I was looking at Drew's flatbed. It's aluminum bolted straight to the steel frame. So most flatbeds just bolt right down, but this, I don't know. It'll be a little bit of cushion, a little bit of a torsion, a little bit of flex kind of system. Better than nothing, I think. Oh, it's arrived with some dirt on it as well. So there we go, ladies and gents. The truck is bare now. And I gotta drive back to Arizona like that. Hope I don't get pulled over. Some cops like, you know this isn't street legal, right? And I'll be like, well, what do you mean? Why? And they'd be like, you don't have half of your truck on. It's off. No, I think the wheel wells, like a lot of states you have to have mud flaps. Well, this doesn't even have wheel wells in the back. So yeah, fingers crossed that we don't get pulled over on the ride home, man. All right, so it's gonna push that tire up into the wheel well. It's just a matter of where and how far we can go. We haven't had it on the forklift yet, so this will be a good test. Further than I thought without hitting.
You know what
it did. Keep going, and it hits right about there. You could keep going even a little. I kind of want to see what it does.
That's not bad.
No, that actually is just hitting the round tube, so that's fine. Oh, dude, the rear's lifting. I think it's fine. I think that's actually totally copacetic because I can...
Now, if you turn your tire, though...
That's the... Okay.
We need to lower and turn it.
Thanks for the reminder. That's where it gets bad, is right around here. Like, it might just need more lift, but I really like how low it is. I want to keep it low. Pretty weird to be in the truck while it's moving up and flexing without it rolling forward. All right, there's pretty much full steer. Right, we're gonna need to cut a little here, probably cut a little here, cut this fender, but I think we might be able to get this all to work.
Alright, so we just had a pretty cool revelation. This is the Bison Overland garage camper. So that pink XPS foam you see poking out, that, bless you, that is a front garage for mountain bike storage, whatever you want. It's also got a cab over with the bed. So this is a big camper, but this section back here, behind, from about right here back, is as big as my camper is gonna be, almost. But yeah, about to this line here, up, that's about gonna be my camper. So this is cool because I can actually hang out and sit in this thing and see what it's gonna be like.
Yeah.
Stoked, dude.
It's gonna be cool.
So stoked. Great day. Taking Coda on a walk in the front yard. This place is so cool.
Now that you're a little bit more up to date on the next steps of the camper, I'm super excited to show you the next video where we hop in a camper that is pretty much the exact same size mine's gonna be. This will give you guys the best mental picture that you've had yet of how big my camper is actually gonna be on the inside versus how small of a space I have to work with on the Gladiator. So we'll see you next time. Hit the comments up, smack that like, and thank you to my patrons for helping support the channel. We'll see you on the next video. The only question is, are you down to mob?